Hello Gemini, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the general energies for the sign of Gemini. So this will be a bonus reading for the month of May 2025. If you've clicked on this reading, if you're here, there will likely be a message for you. Now do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not. And also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Gemini, let's go ahead and get into this reading here for you, and we'll see what's coming forward for you for this bonus reading of May 2025. Do hope you're doing well. Hope things are going good for you, Gemini. We'll go ahead and get everything set up and in view, and then we'll get right into this reading for you. Okay. Okay, and I think that's looking just about good enough to me for right now. Energy on the bottom, you do have the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is potentially saying to you that there is something that you are uncovering here about yourself. Sometimes the High Priestess can represent getting in touch with your inner self, or getting closer to your intuition, trusting your intuition, acting on your intuition, all of that sort of thing. The High Priestess is also seen as a gatekeeper in the tarot. This is somebody who's sitting at the entrance of a spiritual temple, and they are here to deliver you some type of spiritual knowledge or information, right? And so some of you here, you might really be connecting with spirituality in this month. The other thing about the High Priestess is this could be secrets as well. The High Priestess can indicate secrets in the tarot. Maybe secret keeping or finding out about secrets as well. Yeah, that could be showing up for some of you. And sorry, I just have to make sure the camera is good. You guys know I am very particular about the angle. Okay, there we go. Good enough to me. So I have a feeling that there may be something hidden here that's coming to light for you. This is not like the moon. This is more like something that maybe you were just in the dark around, or some knowledge coming out here for you at this period of time that we're looking at. This will generally be very good for you. The reason being, first, you have a nice reading here, Gemini. Now, I know some of you were right around the corner. Gemini season's right around the corner here. And the reason I say that is because in the middle card, you have the sun. So out of any card, this is the best card, and you want to get this card in the middle. The reason being is this middle position here, it touches every card. Okay, so the energies come back to the sun. It's like the highest gravitational pull here is the middle card. And the sun is the best card in the tarot. In fact, the sun will augment the positive aspects of cards around it, and it will negate the negative aspects of cards around it. And since you have this in the middle, it's saying that basically your situation is really, really improving, okay? The news that's potentially coming out, or the secrets that are coming out, the information that you are being given here, may catch you by surprise, and you may be pleasantly surprised around this news. I feel like that's what it is. I feel like there's some information that was hidden from you, or some information that you were just a little bit like in the dark around. I think that this will ultimately be very positive. The sun represents positivity, but it also represents total happiness in the tarot and success, kind of living your best life energy. So strong start for you here for this bonus reading in May, Gemini. Why don't we continue trying to get some more details on this reading? So in the first column, you have the Eight of Cups, the Five of Pentacles, and the Death card. Okay, so let's see here. Where do I want to go here? You have a strong card in the Death card. This is positive in this type of reading. But let's go ahead and start with the Eight. So the Eight of Cups, I love that card because it says that you're done with the past heartbreak. You're done with the past challenges, the pain of the past. You have your back turned away from that, right? And you, in or you have your back turned towards that, I should say. And indeed, you are walking towards a much happier timeline for yourself as you have the Eight of Cups. So what is it during this period of time that you feel like you need to let go of? Like the old story of Gemini, the old problem, what is this area that you feel like you need to let go of? Because there's a real opportunity for you to do that during this time. You then you do have the Death card, which this illustration is Kalima. Kalima is the destroyer of fear, okay? And this is a good representation of what the Death card in the tarot represents. This represents a change. The Death card can bring about a big, big change. And through this change, it's important to embrace it without fear. That's the idea of the Death card, right? A change, a transformation. So I think that there's something big on the horizons for Gemini here. On the horizon for Geminis here, for sure. I have a feeling that some of you are letting go of the old money timelines with the Five of Pentacles. There could be an improvement financially for some of you. Yeah, because of the influence of the Sun and the Death card. I think that maybe some of you are letting go of like the feast or famine, sort of like money doesn't grow in trees energy. Like that's not going to be part of your language anymore. And you're going to use positive language that supports you on your path here going forward. And maybe maybe this is an unlock. Just in me saying this, maybe you are realizing that, yeah, I do use that sort of verbiage with myself. I do use that sort of language with myself. And, the thing is, I would like to say, like, having a positive mindset is infinitely better than living in negativity. It can be hard when you're going through a struggle, though. I understand that. I completely understand that. If you're going through a struggle, it's hard to sort of just, flip the switch and be positive. But it feels like this is the timeline you're walking away from, and you're walking towards one that, you just feel better. You just feel better. Even like financially here. There may even be some new opportunities for you to grow and expand. I'll talk about that more as we move along. In the first column, you have the King of Swords, the Sun card, and the Page of Cups. Okay, so King of Swords, this could be Libra energy, it could be any air sign, it could be you, right? Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, in the King of Swords. But here's the deal. This is the more important thing. The King of Swords lives in truth, okay? The most important thing for the King of Swords is fairness, equality, truth. What will be, will be. Like, and I think that for some of you here, if there are like falsehoods in your situation, right? Like if you're not completely clear on something, the Sun represents clarity. You are achieving great clarity at this time, and you are following your true north, or you're following your true path for this period of time for you, right? Like if it's not, I don't want to use logical. The King of Swords is logical, but if it doesn't make sense, right? Like if it's not completely clear, if it doesn't make complete sense, it doesn't feel like this is something that you're bringing in, It is true that in life some things don't make sense, but we have to deal with it anyway. But I have a feeling that you're seeking the truth, okay? With the High Priestess seeking the truth, right? The High Priestess can indicate seeking knowledge or seeking information, uncovering something, secrets coming out. You're seeking the truth here, right? And the Sun also represents absolute truth, right? Living in absolute truth and following that. And then you have this Page of Cups, which can represent news. Okay, so I talked about news a lot with the High Priestess. It was just an intuition that I had. It can represent offers, opportunities, communication. Usually in love, but this isn't a love reading. So the cups can also represent happiness, your emotional well-being. And this idea of happiness here is pretty strong for you with the Sun and the Page of Cups. So this is where you're looking to steer your ship, so to speak. If it's not making you happy, if it doesn't make sense, if it's not true, you're probably not going to be bringing it in at this time. In the final column here, you have the Strength card, the Chariot, and the Three of Wands. So here's where we see this growth. We see you the growth and expansion, and we see you expanding into something. Okay, the Three of Wands is all about expanding into where you want to be going. You see, this person has a direction. They have a clear direction, right? They're looking out, and they're realizing that they could get on one of these planes and get one of these boats. They have a clear direction because they've built on the spark of the Ace of Wands, they've built on the potential of the Two of Wands, and now they're growing and expanding into that. Okay? This is a card of travel, but for you, this is what I think it's about. I think you're growing and expanding into some level of happiness, and also some level of truth for many of you as you find out something. The Chariot and the Strength card are good. These are progressions in the tarot. These cards come one after the other. The Chariot is about successfully moving forward. It's also as above, so below, allowing the universe to guide us, and also realizing that the energy we put out into the universe, it really is important. It really does matter. So this idea with the Five of Pentacles here, letting go of the scarcity language is important because that will reflect back to us. That vibration will reflect back to us. And then the Strength card comes after the Chariot, taking bold, courageous steps, okay? The Chariot's like the journey's begun, and now the Strength card is, okay, I've begun the journey. I'm going to see this through to the end. I'm going to stick to the path I've chosen, stick to the action I've taken. So you've got general happiness here, and this is all being augmented here with the Sun card. There's definitely a change happening with the Death card. I should say a transformation. There's a transformation happening in the way that you view money here with the Five of Pentacles and the Death card that I think is really significant, particularly leading you to walk away from that old feast or famine idea, and you're growing and expanding into something new that makes you really happy. So why don't we go ahead and start to clarify the situation even more. We'll pull some Psychic Tarot cards. This is my favorite deck. This is my first ever deck of cards. All right, let's go ahead and see what we have for you. Okay, we'll take these. So the first card here is the New Beginnings card. So this is the Fool. Okay, this deck is based on the tarot, but it's oracle cards. So you have the Fool here. It does feel like, you know, the Fool takes a leap of faith, and they go forward without exactly knowing where they're going yet. But I think some of you have a clear direction with the Three of Wands, or you're acquiring a clear direction here in the future. The Fool doesn't have a clear direction, okay? They're just beginning their journey. But you maybe have started something here already. You've maybe already started something in the past here, and you're growing and expanding into that. That's a very positive card. Another positive card, you have Authority. This is the Emperor, okay? So you can see that they are confident. You can see that the way that they're folding their arms here, the expression on their face, they're confident. And this can represent success coming into your life in the work areas. And some of you may be expanding in your workplace, okay? So you could be getting a promotion or something along these lines. You may be taking on more responsibilities in the workplace. You have conflict and defeat. Okay, that is the Five of Swords. The thing about the Five of Swords is it's temporary. You notice how this person's getting away, right? So it's not completely over. When you get the Five of Swords, whatever situation you're dealing with, it's not completely over. Oh, you have hope here. Okay, amazing. This is the Star. So there, it seems like I like hope and sun, hope and happiness here for you showing up. The Star can represent wish fulfillment. You then have recognition and reward. I do think that some of you have progressed in the workplace, and then you have fertility. This is the Empress in the tarot. Major abundance here, okay? Maybe connecting with your heart chakra here. You see the green orb connecting to the heart chakra. What is in your heart at this time? Like, what do you actually, what is your heart telling you to investigate? And you have foundations and achievements as well. Four of Wands, okay. So that can connect to your family, and also can connect to marriage. I do think you have something stable to fall back on here. And now you're in growth mode, right? You're in growth mode. All right. Why don't we go ahead and clarify the situation even more? We'll start to pull some additional tarot cards here. Now, Gemini, I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Okay. You have the King of Wands, Temperance card, and the Strength card again. Okay. You know, I love the King of Wands for you. You feel like really inspired, really invigorated, and passionate about the work that you're doing. I see that some of you recently, or maybe in the past month or couple months, have lit some type of flame in your life, in your career life. And this is guiding you to this outcome here with the sun. Like you really, really became pretty excited about something in your career. You have the Temperance card as well. By the way, King of Wands, classic entrepreneur. Maybe you have a side hustle or a business, a full-blown business, but it also says that you're skilled. It's interesting that it's with the Eight of Cups. Again, I think this idea that like if it's not making you happy, right? Like if it's not true for you, it's just not going to be a part of your experience anymore. I think some of you are looking for absolute truth with that High Priestess uncovering something. Temperance card represents patience, balance, moderation, and also creating something. But I feel like the energy of patience here is the important thing. With the Five of Pentacles, maybe some of you have struggled, in the past with money or finances, something like this. Many people do. And I think that while you've struggled, you've been patiently and diligently working to improve the situation. And if you haven't, I think that the reading here is saying that you could do this. You could flip that switch. You could turn that light on if you wanted to do that, like today. Yeah, I think this is what's happening for you. You then have the Strength card as well, which we've talked about, taking a bold leap here. And as it's showing up with the Death card, Strength and the Death is interesting. Yeah, I mean, having courage in whatever like fear you're destroying here, whatever fear you're working through here, is big for you. And also, like, if you feel like you need to make a complete change, whether it's in your diet or your money habits or your work, your relationship, the Strength card here is saying that you can do this. Like, you can afford to do this for yourself. And when I say afford, I don't mean necessarily monetarily, but in terms of your energy, in terms of your time, you can afford to do this. You can do this for yourself. You have the Ten of Wands. You have the Three of Pentacles. And you have the King of Swords. Okay, Three of Pentacles here showing up as your colleagues, right? You had that here in the Oracles, recognition and reward. Love that with the Sun, for sure. Also represents making progress on a project. I do think that there's a promotion on the table, or some of you have been promoted already. And you feel pretty confident now. Like, whether it happened already or it's happening here in the future, you're feeling confident about this. I do see that some of you have new confidence here. With the Sun card, the Three of Pentacles, you're sort of like building your stride here. Like you have a pep in your step here, Gemini. You got a pep in your step and a twinkle in your eye here, Gemini. That's what I think. And it's sort of like life's good right now. Ten of Wands, yeah, this is great. Ten of Wands, it says that there's a completion around something maybe work related, but Ten of Wands, it says that you are not going to make the same mistakes really, because the Ten of Wands can represent experiences that you've experienced a lot in your situation, and you're not going to make the same mistakes. Like everybody makes mistakes, but you're not going to repeat them. You then have the King of Swords here. King of Swords, you have that twice. Okay, this is about following your truth. Two of Swords, okay? You have the Tower, okay, and the Ace of Pentacles. It's almost like some of you are a little bit torn, though, with the Two of Swords. Listen, 1 or 2 cards doesn't make a reading. Yeah, life's good right now for Geminis if this is your reading. What I will say is the Tower. It's a shock or an upheaval. It's a change, but with the influence of the Strength card, you're going to meet it head on. So whatever's being thrown on your path here, you're ready. You're ready to handle it. Two of Swords may represent indecision, okay, around something. May also say that the blindfold is coming off in this case because of this High Priestess. I talked about news, you being made aware of something or secrets coming out. That blindfold being removed and actually you seeing the truth of a situation or a scenario here. You then have the Ace of Pentacles, which does represent a new beginning financially, which I see here for you diligently, patiently working towards something financially here. With the Five of Pentacles, Temperance card, Ace of Pentacles, very positive, and the Death card on the bottom again, okay? So big change happening here at this time, but very a blessed change for you. It doesn't even feel like an ending. It doesn't feel like an ending. It feels like a change. It feels like a transformation. You're not at the end of the line here. You're not completing something, okay? Yeah. Let's see what else we have. Okay, this card came out, and what you know, it is the Poverty card, which is basically the Five of Pentacles. All right, let's go ahead and let's get a shuffle in here and see what's going on. Yeah, that's like a big timeline for you. And when I say poverty, I mean the mindset, okay? So I think that there's been some like struggles in the past around money that you are really deciding to work on. You have family room. Maybe it's connected to family in some way. You have message of concern, mature man, high honor, and pathway. Okay. Okay. So you have basically the Death card again, Coffin and Death card, basically 3 different iterations of it here showing up. The idea here is that it feels like something is changing in a big way for you. Again, remember the influence of the sun is very important. You may feel a little uneasy with this concern card and message of concern around the changes that are happening. I would say that's normal when you go through a huge transformation in life. And with high honor, that's very good with that 3 of Pentacles and the sun because people really respect what you're doing. It feels like people are really respecting you. And very good for promotions again as well. Pathway is your dharma. It's the path you're supposed to be on in this life. And then the thing is, it can indicate 3 to 6 months in the future, but the timing is really hard to wrap down. So whatever's happening right now, these are like building blocks towards a major transformation for you. Okay, this is what I have. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I will most certainly be talking to you again soon.